Hey, welcome to the Medicine Cabinet podcast. Now here's one of our sponsors.
4Loop, 2Loop brings you future fashion with a fantastic impact. The silicone loop necklaces come in assorted colors: black, white, turquoise, butterscotch, coral, gray, navy, purple, and rust, with sizes ranging from 17 to 30 inches. Pop them on for a splash of volume and presence without weight or the hassle of clips and hooks. Visit 4loop2loop.com. Use MEDCAB, MEDCAB, when ordering to get discounts. Make a statement.
In this episode of the Medicine Cabinet podcast, the guest of honor, JSWISS, all caps, no spaces. That's right. Yeah. The boy's nice, man. Yeah, he's a rapper. He's a rapper. He's also a musician. And in this episode, we talk about why he gets the respect that he does. You know what I'm saying? The reason I respect him because the way he always grabs the microphone and does his thing, you know. But this film, we tap into also his drive and that battery in his back that keeps him going, and that good foundation, that base that he has. And where that comes from is just where you thought: foundation, family. That's exactly right. And JSWISS explains that. And after this episode, saying when I took a second and thought back, it made me appreciate my family, you know, and all the great things they've done for me. And this episode also we recorded this in August before the football season, and we jump into the whole Kaepernick thing. And the reason I'm not even watching football this year is because of JSWISS. You know, saying he's the first one that made me feel guilty. Because before that, I was like, yo, fuck that shit, I'm going to watch that shit. You know what I'm saying? I got to see Brady win another. I'm from Boston, as most of y'all know. And and I feel blessed to be in these times where Brady is quarterback, you know? And I don't agree with everything he does. But saying he's one of the greatest. And we living in this time, we have Michael Jordan and Kobe. And Brady's one of them. And Michael Jackson, yeah. But listen to the episode, and check out what JSWISS is talking about. He's a very pure, good guy, you know, very pure guy, and he makes you want to be a better person, you know, and I think you're gonna get that from the episode too. And it's not just because of what he raps about; it's just because of who he is and the way he's going about things and his perspective on things. And I think you're gonna enjoy this episode. Make it to the end. And if you have any questions for JSWISS, if you want to book him for a show, you know, you can hit us up at the medcabpod at gmail.com. That's THEMEDCABPOD at gmail.com. And that's the same thing for the Instagram, the IG, THEMEDCABPOD. And for the Twitter, it's just the medcab, THEMEDCAB. And you can find us on Facebook. You know what it is. But all right, the website's coming soon. Check out the episode and please comment. Let us know how you feel. All right, thank you guys again for listening. You are the best. Welcome to the Medicine Cabinet. We're back.
Yeah.
We are back. We did it again. Yes. It's time. Today we have special guest, JSWISS. Sam, we got with us?
TJ.
We got with us?
Lindsay.
Sidney.
Dr. Chim.
Oh, Dr. Chim in the house today. Oh, shit.
He's here.
All right.
He came back.
All right. Now, I had to bring out JSWISS because, man, I used to be part of this playlist, man, and every time he would show up, he would always grab the microphone, saying without questions, this is something I had to do, you know what I'm saying? And then, you have people saying that was even part of my team that wasn't even grabbing the microphone like that. And I was like, damn, you know what I'm saying? This dude is serious about his. And then I went out to a show of his saying he's going just as hard, you know, saying then when we did his playlist and we had to study his music, you know, that saying got a little taste of what was going on. And then after some time, you know what I'm saying, you meet some people that are in the music game, they die off, you know, they're not they're not doing as much. Even myself has been guilty of such things, you know. But this guy saying continues to go, saying I respect that and I admire that heavily, you know. But JSWISS, what's going on, man?
I'm doing great.
Doing good.
Thanks for having me, man.
And thanks for coming out, man. Thanks for taking the time. So you from Dobbs Ferry?
Dobbs Ferry.
Dobbs Ferry.
914, Westchester, New York.
Westchester, New York. All right. Yeah. How was all that growing up? You glad you say you came from there? Like you miss your town? You gonna move back there one day or?
I'm glad. I'm glad I go. I actually still live in Dobbs Ferry right now. So I spend a lot of time, in the city for music stuff.
All right, that's why I always see you. So I just assumed.
Yeah. But I live from 5 years old. We moved there from Yonkers. So my parents moved there. It was a little bit better school system, neighborhood to be in, for a kid. So since then, that's friends, all that stuff grew up there.
So what made you where'd your love for music come from?
Definitely my dad.
He's a musician?
Well, he's been a musician in the past, been music writer, music buyer, singer, songwriter. He's done a lot of stuff, but he's also brought in from an early age a whole lot of different music. So
what did he play?
Saxophone earlier, and then as he grew up, he songwriter, singer, so played the keys and stuff like that.
Okay. That's what's up. That's what's up, man. So as a kid, you were just kind of latched on to him, just watching him doing his thing, and you kind of fell into it.
By the time I was born, he wasn't really
doing
an active musician that. He was
because that was Justin Bieber's story. He I think his dad was a musician, was in the band touring, he was just a baby around drums, guitar, all these different things. And I saw.
Yeah, I'm trying to remember because he was a buyer. He was a jazz buyer with Tower Records, and I'm trying to remember if he was actually doing some of that by the time I was alive. But he's been music has been a big part of his life from different roles. So the biggest thing was just bringing in, having the CDs and being in the back of the car and hearing the whole.
Did you play an instrument growing up?
I played the drums from 5th to 10th grade.
5th to 10th grade.
Wait, what is that? That's 10 years old?
10 to 15.
15?
Yeah, how'd you stop at 10th grade?
Well, because I was playing band, and it was we weren't playing a lot real interesting music, and it was kind of the same year to year, and it just got to a point I was I can't really do this. So had I had a different teacher that was more interested in stuff, I might have gone for longer, but yeah.
But I play bass, man, and I wonder if I first started off with drums, I couldn't imagine putting that shit down.
Yeah, I couldn't have, live in apartments. I didn't have a drum set at home.
Yeah.
It's kind of if I was part of the band, that's what.
What about an electric drum set? All right, it's not all right. Yo, listen, we're gonna do the Kickstarter. We're gonna buy him the electric drum set.
I have personally seen JSWISS kill the drums. By the way.
See, he needs it. So he needs the drum set.
Yeah.
Send your donations in, $5, $10, $20s.
Just all those jazz star kits, the main ones, you just put in there.
Yeah, right.
In your living room.
That's dope. So all right, so rhythm, saying drums, so that definitely goes into lyrics. But what else made you go into rap?
It was real. It was real natural. I would say I started writing raps at 12.
12.
Then my parents, when I was 15, they got me a 4-track tape recorder. So I started messing around with that. Still not serious. At this time, I still think I'm going to be an NBA player. And that was my first dream.
First dream?
You have a lyric about that somewhere.
Yeah, that was...
What's it called? Wait, who was your favorite player?
Allen Iverson.
Allen Iverson.
His bad.
Yo, did you rock cornrows?
No.
You don't rock the cornrows?
But I had I have multiple Iverson jerseys because as I got older, I had to get...
Yo, the answers.
Yeah, I didn't have the shoes, but I had multiple Iverson jerseys because as I grew, I didn't grow that much. As I grew, I always need to have an Iverson jersey. I had the Answer armband,
Yeah, the armband. Sweatband.
That was the end of that was the end of Reebok's reign. I felt on sneakers when they had the answers and the questions saying. I think it was the answer. It's a slip-on sneaker.
Yeah, because he was the only competition for Jordans.
That shit was mad comfortable.
I don't think I really did any of
The sneakers?
Were like really nice name this. Because my thing was, I remember I got Jordans once. But I balled so hard. Like Jordans, you're not supposed to actually play. Ironically, you're not supposed to play basketball. So like I was like, I played basketball all the time, seriously, and they lasted like no time. Yeah, so it's like anything, you're trying to get the fancy, these look nice basketball sneakers. I'm like, I can't do that because I wear them out.
Yeah, my parents just wasn't buying it for me. You know what I'm saying?
So question for you: do you still ball hard? In the paint.
I don't ball. I don't ball nearly as much as it's crazy because it used to be. Like I said, I used to play ball all the time. Where like if it was 3 days and I went out to the park, it would feel like forever. And now it's like to go months is.
How many games have you gotten in this summer?
Really only I played a couple 2-on-2.
That's more than
I played 4-on-4 one game. Like
give me a number of games you played this year.
If you count like between 2-on-2 and 4-on-4, it's probably like 8.
Oh, okay.
That's not that much.
I know, yo.
Because that's like 3 in 1. That's like counting like games to 11. You play 3 in 1 day.
Shit got fucked up for me because like 1 year was 7 games. Next year was 5 games and 3 games, and now I'm down to 0 games.
Summer's still
0 games.
See, you still got time.
That's how you go into like Italy League and stuff like that. You used to get out of the NBA, bro. You started.
Crazy.
So why did you stop basketball?
It was just so. As music got more serious, I went to school. Even still, I went to UNC and which is the school that Michael Jordan went to college to. So this is like one of the biggest basketball schools in the country. Mm-hmm. And I'm still, even at my height and everything, I'm like, I'm gonna walk on there. So my freshman year, I was like I was getting up and running stairs in the morning and going to the gym. I'm like, I'm gonna make it happen, type of thing. I played club basketball. UNC was the only school in the area that had a club basketball team. So like other schools, they had their varsity and they had club. Our school also had a JV team. That JV team would play like Division II, Division III school. So I made club my first year, did well. And the next year, I started doing music more heavily my freshman year. So next year I was like, if I could move up to JV, then I'll keep going. But if not, like I can't make the commitment at least to like a formal basketball team with the time that music is making up. So once I tried out for JV and I didn't make that, I was like, well, I'll still playing pickup, a lot. Yeah, but I had to.
And August 3rd happened which year?
August 3rd was 2012.
That's like your song about the transition, right? From
August 3rd.
The basketball thing to the...
Well, not even from the basketball thing, but August 3rd, 2012 was the first time, that's when I sat down my parents and told them, 100%, music. Before that, I was promoting myself, pushing, performing, everything, but it was still, music was kind of if it happens, that's great, but if it doesn't, that's cool. August 3rd, 2012 is when I told my parents, this, has to happen,
Issa, I'm in this. Alright.
So how long were you down in North Carolina?
It was just the 4 years out of school.
Quick question while we still on sports before we get off sports.
Yeah.
Saying you had said saying about what's his face? Kaepernick.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
I saw the Facebook.
Yeah, I saw the Facebook thing. Saw your social media. I stalked you. You know what I'm saying? No. But yeah, you were like, if he doesn't get signed, saying you said you can't really fuck with the NFL this year.
Yeah.
See, that did you watch it last year though?
Yeah.
Saying didn't Ray Rice play last year though?
No.
Say wait. All right. Wait, Ben Roethlisberger on it. You know what I'm saying? Saying didn't he play?
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Didn't he have rape allegations and whatnot? You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, he's got.
And there's a couple other people with some battery and whatnot, but we still watched it then. You know what I'm saying? But why? So why is this the cutoff right here? Saying with the Kaepernick, you know what I'm saying?
Well, I'll speak to first, just the Kaepernick situation in itself. I think it's pretty obvious that the reason that he's not with the team is because of the stand that he took.
Oh, yeah.
And so for me, it's he put his career on the line for basically people, just like me. So it's if he's gonna do that and put his career on the line, I feel like it's not only saying that like we appreciate that and caring for him, but basically saying like we care about ourselves, more, and to actually say that, say Black Lives Matter. I feel like that's a way to say Black Lives Matter with your actions. It's like if somebody standing up for Black lives is enough to say they don't deserve to be in this league, then it's like we're not gonna watch the league.
Chris is not gonna watch the
the thing is, I'm a fantasy football champion, so I watch.
And that's the thing. It's like it's a for me too. Like, I mean, I'm a big basketball fan, but as far as actual teams, I haven't been for several years been able to like root for any one team. So I would say like the Giants are the one professional sports team that I root for the hardest of any. So like I pay attention to NFL football. So it's. And I do the fantasy football, so it's somewhat of a sacrifice, but I'm like, you gotta be willing to. I feel like a lot of these situations too, we'll talk about being outraged about things, but when it comes to like actually sacrificing something, we don't. So I feel like this is one thing. It's like, okay, I actually do. I'm like, I actually do. I enjoy watching the NFL, and it would be difficult for me to not watch it all.
Now I gotta play fantasy on the low.
But
you still watch football?
Damn.
And I'm glad I'll tell you, because it's something that too is only more effective if like a lot of us do it, like so that they actually feel the effect. So I think the NFL is like, we don't want to support Kaepernick what he's doing because it's going to affect people watching our league. So it's like if we say
I was at a job, right, and then like they're warming up on Star Spangled Banner, and this is when Kaepernick first popped off. Mm-hmm. So I'm like, shit, I'm not playing no Star Spangled Banner right now. I ain't playing shit right now. You know what I'm saying? Like, and then like I'm in the orchestra, so I'm the only one there, So saying my stand partner saying probably 30, 40 years older than me, turns to me, he like, Chris, what do you think all this Kaepernick thing is all about? And then I explained to him, you know what I'm saying? I explained to him, and then I'm not playing the whole time,
Really?
And then the time of the show comes up, and they have these two little black girls come out and like present something before we play it. Then I felt like I had to play for some reason, Then I played it,
And I don't think that you need to feel. I don't think like you need to feel some type of way for playing or standing for the national anthem. I don't think. Because that's what I think too is like I think people get like that was his way of making a symbolic stand, and he also did a lot more in addition to it. But people get, and that's why I say like I feel like this is something like a boycott of NFL that's important. A lot of people do because I think a lot of people like to do symbolic things that they could say that they did that looks nice or whatever. They could post on Facebook or whatever. But this is like something that would actually like hit them in the pockets. This would actually make an impact.
The first episode we had was with a human rights activist, and he touched on a lot of what you're saying right now. And he's saying like that whole movement like attracts like half-assed people. You know what I'm saying? Saying like it takes more people to take those steps like you're talking about. Like watching that, that's heavy, man. Saying like, I'm from New England, man. Like, am I supposed to not watch him do it again? You know what I'm saying? It's like, but now you making me think right now though. Saying like, if the fact that I do feel this guilt, saying does make it feel like it's a real thing. You know what I'm saying? But something less serious. But like,
so you're obviously very passionate about, the art and your like what you stand for, believing. So where did all that come from? Like, when you were younger, what would you say was like the driving force behind your motivation, or did you gain it later? Like, when
as far as music wise,
as far as just. I mean, you had that passion for basketball. You're like, man, I'm gonna do this. Like, if someone's getting up and running the stairs, there had to be something instilled in you. You think it was your parents? You think that was your what was it?
I mean, I think
you got brothers and sisters?
No, I'm only child.
Only child. Really?
I'm a Virgo.
You're a Virgo?
Yeah.
Oh, hey, brother. Welcome.
But I don't know. I guess I had great parents, so I feel like that helps.
You homeschooled or not?
No. But I mean, I've always I've had high expectations of myself. I always felt like I was supposed to do something great. So and I don't know. I can't
Some Charlemagne shit.
Like I can't. I feel like I just can't let myself, perform in whatever it is below a certain level. Like
quality
whether it's
control.
like work or something. Like there will be like people will be impressed by certain things that I do, whether it's like job or school or whatever.
Yeah.
And it's like what they're impressed by is just like stuff that I feel like I couldn't be below. Like I couldn't accept myself being below that. Like that's impressive to you, but I just couldn't I would feel upset with myself if I didn't reach that level. So I feel like that's helped me.
We got this one friend, and then like sometimes he might get mad at people and do some crazy shit, but he'll turn to me like, Chris, I can't let niggas talk to me like that. and he'll be so passionate when he says that shit. I'll be like, all right, man, it's all right.
But it's just like, that high level. And even when, even before, even when I was in school and college and I was, performing and putting out music, even before it was like, this is what I have to do.
Yeah.
Like, I still was seeing it as like I'm not a college student doing this as a side hobby. Like, I still want to be one of the best, like, period. Like, and whoever's doing it at the highest level, that's who I compare myself. And that's when that's when it wasn't even like 100%.
And you went to school for saying journalism?
Yeah, broadcast journalism.
Saying broadcast journalism. Like, that's the thing that impresses me the most about like saying musicians, you know what I'm saying? It's like I'm like 25 years deep in the game, you know what I'm saying, of like studying, you know what I'm saying? I believe of like straight up training. Then we got saying people like you saying with that heart, you know what I'm saying, that just overpowers a lot of that shit, man, and it's like impressive.
What's for you, I mean, I guess what we're getting at here, in my opinion, like what is the, like, are you competitive, would you say? Like, the passion behind it?
I'm competitive, definitely.
What is it driving you behind all the...
Competitive with yourself, all the rappers?
Whether it's
both. And that's what I was thinking about earlier today, too. It's like, it's funny, especially hip-hop, I think, is like really competitive. And I guess like as a musician, it can be competitive, too. And you also don't want to be too competitive, and you'll beat yourself up. You'll see like, oh, this person is doing this, and I'm not doing this. So you don't want to get too much into that, but it still is like, competitive. So I'm definitely competitive against other people, but I just feel that drive.
So like people are like, you're competitive. Like, so if you can say fuck you right now, who would you say that to?
Who'd you write a diss on?
Wait, are we trying to get like right now?
You mean in a good way? Like,
I'm talking about local rappers right now.
Let's build some hype right now.
I don't have the hype. But the good thing is too, like, I feel as far as like being competitive, it's like when you're confident in your own ability and what you're doing, then you don't even really get like too threatened by what other people are doing too. And like it allows you to just be happier. It's like if you're doing your thing and like you got things happening and you're making quality work and you feel like it's representing yourself as one of the best, and you could look at somebody else killing it and be like, yo, good for you, because like I know I'm still gonna get mine, anyway.
Right. Yeah, I feel that.
So it's just passion for the craft.
Yeah. Let's talk about your parents more.
I'm a hater.
No, seriously.
She's not the one musician not in the room.
So, your dad comes up a lot. Specifically, Chris was mentioning that he comes to all your shows.
Both my mom comes to a lot too. Yeah.
So, one of the things that I was thinking about in reading, like, both the article that you wrote about your boy, and then also with the fencing. I'm sorry, I should explain the New York Times article where you wrote about your friend who is a very successful.
What's his name again?
Daryl Homer.
Daryl Homer.
2016 Olympics?
12, and he got silver at the 2016, but he was at the 2012 too. He got 6th, I think, that year. That was before I knew him, but yeah.
Damn, dude, he's got medals.
So you focus a lot on this in the article about the situation that he came out of, and which included not having a present father, and how that kind of influenced and maybe molded like the way that he approached his discipline.
Yeah.
Which is very intense. It's like he has this trainer that he's with all the time who monitors, you were saying, his like his food, his workouts, his social life. Like they're in contact almost every day. Mm-hmm. So it's very strict almost. But when you talk about your own sort of approach to thing, it almost seems like the opposite to me. Like it's very it's very reflective. There's a lot. I mean, you certainly have discipline, you have motivation, but there seems to be more of like an openness.
You're saying, well, it's funny. Well, openness, like in speaking with other people or through my music or.
Yeah, I think that there is just in general like this sort of ability to like reflect about yourself and also
like when
socially.
You, like,
so I wonder if there's some sort of connection to the dynamic that maybe you had with your dad.
Well, it's funny like you mentioned about being open because I think, especially with how I feel and emotions, I've had to, as a result of different relationships, including like my last like relationship, that's like forced me to be better, you know, with friends and family and being open like that. But I kind of felt, in a lot of ways, I would be more comfortable saying things in a song before like, you know, talking personal things with friends and family. I was having this conversation too. A lot of times, like, I just don't want to have to talk about, especially like personal things, multiple times. It's like, all right, I'll tell my parents and I'll tell this friends and this friends and this friend. I'd rather just be like, let me say it on a song the way I want to say it, and it's
publish it,
and then I don't need to
just check out the last track.
So it's like, so you know, it was fun. Like I put out this song. I think you were talking about the video earlier, Chris, the Heard About You.
Oh yeah.
And like I mentioned, it was like, oh, you know, your girlfriend. I know your girlfriend cheated on you, know, type of thing.
Yeah.
And like that song had come out like a good year plus, like after that happened.
Yeah.
But I would say like there was only maybe 2 or 3 people that I had told about that.
Yeah.
Like that's why the relationship ended before then. So it was like,
yeah.
Like that happened, you know, this relationship I had when I was at school. So it was like, I maybe told 1 or 2 friends that like knew, you know, both of us, so it was around both of us. You know, so I told them, and then maybe like one of my close friends that I knew, who wasn't at school with me, but I knew from, you know, growing up in Dobbs Ferry. And like, that was it. So the rest of my close friends, like parents, whatever, I didn't tell them like why the relationship ended until like the song came out. And it's like, I guess you know now.
Yeah,
so I haven't always been like real open. I guess I've been more open in music.
Well, also maybe like you're actually accomplishing that effort because I had a perception of you as being open and communicative from your music.
Yeah, and I would say like I've been better in the last like I said, especially even since like the last relationship I was in, like in the last 2-3 years of being more open even with family and friends and like conversation outside of music.
So when you write your lines,
he's probably like me in that situation, you know, kind of more reserved with emotions and feelings and all that.
When you write your lyrics, are you thinking about that and stuff? Like you're thinking like, I'm trying to give my statement to the world, you know, like, or this is like, you know, like each project that you're making or song or. You know,
I wouldn't say it differs like on a specific project, but I definitely, and I would say more and more, you know, each project, later music, like getting more and more of that personal stuff out, and more directly. So it's like, okay, not kind of infer, kind of sideways reference it, but just like straight up, you know, talk about it.
Does that cause like grief and stuff? You know, like people pissed? Because you're now getting more and more direct, you know, like less abstract.
No, I wouldn't say any of this stuff really.
People
like,
can't get mad at facts.
But I don't know if I even have like a lot of facts. Like I would talk about that would like paint other people in like too bad lights, you know, or anything like that.
No beats. The opposite. No beats. Your music is very positive, actually.
Yeah. So it's just like it's just really myself. A lot of it is, I guess, would be revealing stuff about myself that might make me more embarrassed to be put out there. But if I say them, then it's, you know.
Yeah.
You're like rapping your vulnerability.
Speaking of rapping, spreading your intentions clearly through rhymes, what do you think about not doing that, aka some, not all, mumble rap?
Mumble rap?
Well, it's funny, like, I don't think that you could, you know, a lot of mumble, like, there are people with a lot of mumble rap that they're just, like, not even, I mean, even if you listen to the words, they're not really saying anything, so it's like, you know, they're just, I guess it's just fun. You could be mad at the fact that it doesn't sound like it's good quality, but it's like harmless because it's just like I don't know what the hell they're talking about. They're not really saying the thing that I think is dangerous when you get like situations where, you know, like a lot of people are talking about, you know, the popping the pills and the overdosing on drugs like that. I mean, that's bad enough to even talk about on record anyway, but some people, it's like, if that's your real life and you're talking about your real life, that's one thing. But, like, there are people out here who are, like, bragging about, like, popping pills, overdosing on drugs that literally kill you, that are making it up completely just for the purpose of, like, profit.
It's a fake character.
And, like, that, I feel like that's, like, the worst. I would rather, like, some, like, low quality BS music, not saying anything, then like, all right, you're basically encouraging someone to do something that's gonna kill them.
Are you familiar with Black Youngster?
Yeah. I don't really know much about. I don't think I've really heard of Black.
Or like Yo Gotti, YG, saying like
I mean, from what I've heard of Yo Gotti's music, I don't think there's anything that like is bad.
It's along
from what I've heard.
It's along those lines.
But I've heard you know some artists talk about how like I don't actually do this stuff, but I talk about it, and you know that people
said that, right?
People are by listening to their music, you know, encouraged to do some of that stuff in this line.
So going back to that mumble. So I have to bring it up.
Yeah.
Because I'm from South Carolina. Since you were in North Carolina, I know like growing up, the rap music I listened to was a little different. Like I didn't really, you know, when I got to New York, I like heard about a bunch of people. I'm like, who's Max B? Like what? You know what I'm saying? Like, but when I was growing up, it was like 3 6 Mafia was like the OGs. You know, like everybody in Atlanta, of course. You know, and so. Was there any culture shock when you were studying down there in terms of, like, you were still doing music then, right?
Yeah. Well, that's when I really kind of started. Yeah.
Oh, okay, so...
Like, more, like, I didn't put out my first actual project until my freshman year there.
So you heard people rhyming in the Carolinas, you're like, hell no.
No, it's interesting. Like, I think that people think more of, like...
Let me shut this shit down.
I think that people think of, like a DC as kind of being like the perfect middle ground between like New York and like the South, like Atlanta. But I feel like North Carolina is kind of like that too, where you get, you know, because they've had the history of like a Little Brother and that type of thing, which isn't what the sound of like, you know, Atlanta trap music. So you get both. I mean, you get that more like, I love the old school boom bap lyricism sound, and you get some of the turn up track. Like you get both. It's like the perfect mix of both of that. I feel like there. So I think you get all that. It's not like if I was in just straight up just in Atlanta or something.
Right.
Further south.
In the strip club, just listening to
like I think the further south you get, the more like
dirty.
And the more like just homogeneous.
You said that music was dangerous, right?
Yeah, as far as the talking about pop.
So what about like stripper music?
Yeah.
Saying because you're pretty positive, like pure type of style. You know what I'm saying? What about stripper music, like?
What stripper music? That's literally literally even just talking.
I see you whining and grinding, like stuff like those type of hip hop tracks. Like is that is that dangerous?
Oh no, I definitely wouldn't call it dangerous. No.
But they do throw some lines about lean in there though.
So when are you gonna make a stripper trick?
I'm probably not gonna make a stripper trick.
You know what I'm saying? All right.
Why not though?
I'm gonna make the hook. I'm gonna throw it at you, see what you say.
Is there like a line you feel like you wouldn't cross, like those kinds of songs? Like let's say, I don't know, just those provocative kind of hip hop songs, whatever genre you want to go into. Are there like lines you feel like you wouldn't want to cross to talk about?
Well, the talk, and I think it's different, like
sex,
content
drugs,
versus
like you know whatever.
Like, cause you know, it's funny. I feel like these days, like people, as soon as you hear like a trap beat. It's like, oh, that's that garbage, that's that nonsense. And it's like, it's just a beat. Like, I think like people start to associate like what a lot of songs to that music is. So it's like, I can't say that I would never do something over a beat like that, but I feel like some people, as soon as they hear that, it's like, oh, that's the negative that's ruining hip hop. It's like, it's just a beat. Like you're not even hearing the lyrics, you know.
So I mean, but are you making like a conscious effort not to talk about any like for instance like just sexual subjects or like drugs,
vulgarities?
Well, yeah, whatever.
What are your advice?
I mean, I would.
What are your like?
That's actually what the question is, because I feel like it's clear from like listening to your music. It's not that you wouldn't talk about it. It's just maybe the presentation wouldn't be the same as.
Yeah, and I mean as far as like.
It's not your style.
Yeah. I mean, drugs I don't use, so like I wouldn't be talking about that. I mean, I think a lot of people like sex, so that's something that could come up. It might not be in the same way like pop that pussy, you know, but you know, just like that's still something that's like, you know, relevant to me, you know. Like you said, it could be talked about in a different way than you know other places, and you know there's been the people, you know, Common is considered a conscious rapper, but
he has those tracks.
Always very uncomfortable.
Electric Circus is my favorite Common album. You know that one?
Yeah, I don't know it too well. But
that song he has with Slum Village though, Thelonious on Unlock Water for Chocolate his verse is very awkward because they're always like kind of grinding, you know. Yeah. And then he's like kind of like
in between
trying to step into it, but
just because Common is a conscious rapper doesn't mean like he doesn't like to have sex. Like
that's
so it's
true.
like
yeah, sexual attraction. For sure.
I agree with that, but maybe I shouldn't be so critical of Common on the podcast, but it's specifically to me like the way that it's the same thing when he put out that diss track against Drake. Wait.
Oh yeah, I remember that.
Yeah, you
and it's just like there's moments where he's kind of embarrassing. It's not that Common can't talk about sex. It's the way sometimes that Common approaches certain topics that he normally is not doing that feels
that's the song.
feels a little unnatural.
Yeah. But also, maybe we're just so accustomed to hearing shit like that. Like when I hear, you know what I'm saying? Like, our ears have been tuned now. It's like, oh, somebody's gonna talk about popping pills at some point in their verse.
Oh, you're saying when you hear like a certain type of music.
Yeah, like as a whole, as like a listening community. So it shouldn't really be awkward, which is why I like why Kendrick, how Kendrick came up. He's like, what is the line? He's like, you let a conscious rapper go. I don't know what he said. He's like, basically, you let me get this far, dropping a conscious album, and it's like you listen to it like, oh, what, you know, but mostly everything on the radio is.
Yeah, you remember that summer when Pharrell was like, I'm happy, you know what I'm saying, and then he dropped saying, I'm the same summer.
Move That Dope?
Yeah.
Was it Move That Dope?
Yeah, I think it was. Was it Move That Dope?
I think so.
Yeah, that was the song.
I just thought it was always funny. Like, it was like not even talking about recent stuff, but if all, the 40, 50-year-old, mothers with children in elementary school who play happy would show them the Laura Willing album,
Oh, yeah.
It's the same person. Like, oh my God.
That Laura Willing,
that's the same person.
Long line, like Sam Cooke, Ray Charles. We could go way back to just people acting crazy.
Yeah, man, those were crazy fucking.
But yeah, when Elvis was out, he was gyrating. That was like a big thing. It's always like a thing with
I was just curious to know if you would play with that line ever of saying just if that is in your repertoire, like to drop some vulgar shit, like
it would probably be more so musically, trying.
What would you be vulgar about? I guess is really is it like there's social issues?
I'm not,
like what is
I'm
on
not
your
like
mind
a really like vulgar.
I'm not saying you have.
Content.
Are you angry about it? Are you angry?
But do you think you'd be able to ghostwrite for that thought? You could too.
Yeah.
So you do have it.
The hardness of your inner Trey.
Because it's just kind of I would say there are times where I've thought of lines like, man, if 2 Chainz said this. But I'm not and I don't even write it down or anything. It's just
let that one go.
It's funny to just let those voices go for a minute. It's okay.
Yeah. So which rappers did you listen to growing up?
I mean, the first the Roots and the Tribe Called Quest were what I was listening to before I could even press play myself. I'm 2-3 years old. Actually, some of my first favorite hip hop songs.
Wait, how old are you?
I'm 25 now. I'm
okay.
Yeah. So some of my first favorite hip hop songs, singles I remember, were I Wish by Skee-Lo.
Yo, me too.
I forget the name of the song, but it's Will Smith. It's boom, boom, shake, shake the room. And House of Pain, Jump Around. That was a couple.
Jump Around still pops off.
But then as far as and I don't even remember being when I was 2 years old and hearing Tribe. But I remember with Tribe is crazy because I guess my parents would play it for me younger and I like that stuff. Yeah. And then when I got a little bit older to start listening to music on my own, I remember it was I knew the Tribe hits. But I was let me look at these albums. And so there were some the more album cuts that I was going back and telling my parents I really like this song. And they were you used to sing that song Tribe Called Quest Represent. When you were 2 years old, I was oh really? I don't even remember that song. I know Electric Relaxation and Award Tour.
Oh wow.
So so that was some of the earlier stuff. And then I would say there was when I was real young, it was some of that stuff. Then there was a period middle school.
Yeah, how many brothers and sisters does you how many uncles and aunts you had?
So my dad's one sister.
Where she live?
Bronx. I have a lot of family that lives in the Bronx kind of. And then my mom has 2 brothers and a sister. All
right. So because it sounds like your parents spent a lot of time saying giving you a good mind, you know.
Yeah.
Saying like
sweet environment.
And because I'm anti saying single child. You know what I'm saying? No disrespect.
Anti-single child.
Yeah. Saying that but you very level headed and and I don't see no sneakiness behind you. You know what I'm saying?
That's what.
There's very little. Yeah.
Let me tell you where it started. I was at a summer camp. You know what I'm saying? People. It was a music summer camp up in Maine, Arcota. Saying
Dude. Wait, you went there?
Yeah.
I taught there.
Yeah, go look through the books. You'll see my picture. The Humpty dance. We did the fucking contest. Saying, I'm not sure if I won or if I was robbed. I'm pretty sure I won that year. You know what I'm saying? I won 2-3 years. I held shit down. I had my first kiss over there too.
Okay.
But what we talking about?
That first kiss, bro. That's a nice.
I forgot what I was talking about. What we talking about before?
The only children.
Okay. Alright, so Game Gear. I mean, you got what is it? The Nintendo one? What's it called? Game Boy.
N64. Oh no,
Game Boy. Saying Sega Game Gear. You know what I'm saying lights out 9 o'clock. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. I remember.
9 o'clock. Saying Game Boy done. You know what I'm saying? Game Gear still popping. The kid that wouldn't share his shit, only child. Only child.
Yeah, Game Gear had a lot of screen, right?
Yeah. So you saw you playing in the dark, you got Sonic going mad out, and he's getting mad rings. Wouldn't share his shit.
But on that front too, as a black male rapper, you know what I'm saying? They if you tell somebody you're a rapper, they expect, do you sell drugs?
Yeah.
You know, I was like the average white person. There's been times I had we was in a group, I'd be at the rap in front of a crowd, recently I was in France, just in the countryside, and I do a couple rap songs, it's all white, and they're yeah, everybody's conservative here. This one dude did not move the whole time. He's just sitting there like this. And his wife was kind of moving her foot.
Yeah.
But everybody got loose. But it was just damn. I wonder what the perceptions of.
But it's not even just a people outside of hip hop culture who don't understand. But there's also too a certain aggressiveness that almost you're expected and have to have almost to be respected.
Right, a masculine. Is it over?
Yeah. It's and. Yeah, where it seems people you have to even if you're gonna be conscious, you better at least throw some N-words, the curses, and you have to.
People expect
type of, and that's not even from people outside the culture. That's just within you. That's something I guess I have to fight against, too, because I don't have a lot of that in my music.
Because it's funny, I have I know some people in other fields of the arts and or comedians especially certain comedians just have an act and they don't. There's just no vulgarity. But that's just their thing. What's that guy, Mike Bibley? What's his name?
Dude, Bob Saget is one of the greatest examples, right?
No. He's dirty. He's dirty.
But he was the host of whatever, so you could do the act, right?
Yeah.
And talk.
Yeah. But all I'm saying is
it's a good segue to. What we're trying to get at here, right, is that you don't curse in your music, right?
That. But also my question was just as you're saying, they expect you to be a certain way as a rapper and a black male, it's just, you already answered it. I was just.
But I think I don't think you feel a responsibility. I think it's just you.
Yeah.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying? It's it's not you're trying to give yourself a pat on the back. It's just and it seems the way what I got from it is just hearing these little small, tiny little bits with your parents saying it seems there was just a lot of time, because they kept your attention, you know what I'm saying, and as far as right from wrong,
And it was too. I mean, neither of my parents naturally they don't curse a lot.
They don't curse.
Even I know now they're no, they don't need to watch what they say around me. But even still, I'm not really ever gonna hear them curse. And they didn't really drink. There wasn't alcohol. So I don't really drink. That's.
When was your first drink?
When I was 21.
21. Oh,
Yeah.
Nice.
And I wasn't even I wasn't even necessarily planning to drink that night, but I went out, I wound up at a party, and they had a keg and they were giving it free, and I was oh, it's free, like 20. It's my birthday, like all right, whatever.
Nice.
And then, but I didn't like it, and I still don't really like beer. So
when I was a kid, man, like I'd be at the barbecues, at the cookouts, you know, and then like saying to be the rosters down by like just flipping the chicken, jerking the chicken, and just smoking down. I'm like, damn, that's so cool, you know? And then like saying late night would pop off, and then like to be a DJ, and all the kids be sitting at the steps while the steps go down, and the parents are just getting in there, grinding and dancing and shit. And daggering didn't come into drink until 2000 something. But like it's just like the stuff that you're around when you're a kid, like that foundation stuff, saying like really plays a influence on like where your mind goes. You know what I'm saying? Because like I knew I wasn't supposed to have the wrong punch. You know what I'm saying? But it's red. You know?
It looks like. But I mean, I hear what you're saying about that, Chris, because it does seem to be something that just sort of inherently is who you are. Yeah. But it also does sound like, from the way you're talking about what comes up in other music, like when we're talking about people bragging about pills and overdosing, and also even getting back to like the conversation we had about like the NFL with I'm never gonna
Kaepernick.
I was gonna say Kaepernick.
Kaepernick.
It's gonna be wrong.
Like what?
I just outed myself as not really like a big sports follower. Anyway, but it sounds like you do have a connection to the responsibility with it.
Yeah,
at least somewhat.
Yeah, but I mean, I don't even feel with the music. What's in my music, I'm just like putting what's actually me in it. Like that's why there's even been a more conscious effort to be even more open, because I feel like, all right, that's me, so I should be putting that more into it. But I don't necessarily feel so much like, oh, I'm gonna be a role model, so my music needs to sound like this type of thing. It's just
like wearing Dare t-shirts.
I'm just like I'm just like put as much of me into music.
Like the reason why I brought it up so many times, because like lyrically I think you're dope, but like the content, the consciousness is like I feel like it might hold, not hold back, but like
no, I see exactly what you're saying, and it's funny too because
but like all these artists that we say are conscious before, and saying they also have that other record saying like,
and it's funny because that's probably part of them, too. Like I mean, it's funny we use like conscious. I hate that. I hate that because it's like kind of alright. If you're conscious, you're unconscious if you're not conscious. But anyway, but for some of those people too, like you hear the quote unquote like conscious rappers, and you hear them, they have their records where they're cursing more or whatever. That might just be like who they are also. Like that's just not like you're just not gonna hear me like if you do hear me curse, it's like because like I got really mad. Like that's not part of my everyday conversation. That's not.
It's not even about the cursing. It's the content. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
But for conscious, when people say conscious, like hip hop, for me that means social justice music, right? Like things about like okay, so what does that mean? Because I've always heard like
and that's the thing. Like I think that for a lot of people too, it comes to mean like if it's got like a boom bap sound and it's conscious and it's this type of thing.
Call it backpack rap? Is that what you call
the backpack rap. I mean, what I do find
that's an offshoot of it, I think.
Like I feel like a lot of times rappers who call themselves conscious rappers though, like they're like more times than not the actual music is like kind of not that great, because you get into a situation, look, just because you're talking about something doesn't mean that your music can't still be bad. Like I think people get in a situation, it's like okay, because I have a whole lot of substance in my music, if you don't like it, you're just not on a high enough level.
Just because
I'm like no, you can make a whack song. You could be saying a lot of stuff and still make a whack song. Like a college professor, whoever could be a brilliant person, but who can't make a rap song. So just because they're saying something smart,
like Colin Kaepernick, is he like? You think he would ever get MVP?
Oh no. What the fuck you talking about?
I mean,
what I'm saying, you're talking about people who like maybe whack at what they do, but at least they have like.
Is Brady still
He's
alive?
got like he's tries to stand for something at least.
Yeah.
No, I had never really heard people talking about him like on the football field. It's all like his political stuff. You know?
Yeah, I mean, he was never an MVP status football player, but he was still very good. You know,
They got to the finals, right? They got to the Super Bowl.
Yeah, he's played in the Super Bowl. He's he's still very good.
That's my computer.
But I think, you know, in the hip hop game at least, sometimes I choose records, you know, like based on what it is I'm feeling. Sometimes I need that aggressive, like, you know, like I need someone coming out the gate talking about crazy shit, you know, like I just need that, and it's like whether or not they're fronting or not, it's like sometimes it's like part of the conscious part of being a conscious rapper to me is like having that like. That album where you're just saying crazy shit.
And it's funny because I think like two terms that people will like use to compliment my music would be like conscious hip hop and real hip hop.
Mm-hmm.
And like I don't like
real hip hop. What is that?
I've heard people use that before.
Well, I mean, the whole like and I mean the whole project authenticity I put out was kind of like because I think real kind of like lost its meaning. Like for a lot of people, like real has to sound like this.
Real here, don't care.
Like real hip hop has to be like sound like a Pete Rock record from '98 and with Talib Kweli on it, and that's real. And if it doesn't sound like that, it's not real hip hop. But it's like real can't be the same for everybody.
So what makes a real MC then?
People of the culture already know what a real MC like, cause like.
But the difference between MC and rapper though, right?
No, because like.
already know.
Have you listened to 21 Savage?
So I mean, well, I've heard, I mean.
Alright, because it's like straight ahead trap music, right? But he's actually lyrical, saying out of all these young, saying like.
Well, I've heard some stuff that's not. I've heard that like he has songs that are better than others. Some of the popular ones, I'm like I could kind of.
Yeah, no, but he's come up saying as far as his earlier stuff, you know.
Yeah.
But like none of them are on necessarily a Kendrick level. I'm not saying nothing like that.
So would you count 21 Savage as an MC or as a rapper?
I mean, from what I've heard, I'd call him a rapper.
So what's the difference between the two?
Oh yeah, he had gotten to that in the source shit. Like,
Should we pull up the source article and just read what he said there?
No, just like paraphrasing for us.
He can explain it.
No, I mean like I feel like a MC, just has more command and attention. Like a more command and attention to what they're saying and how they're saying, delivering it. Mm-hmm. A rapper is kind of just like whatever is hot to be hot, type of thing. But I think like an MC is like real, like no, I need to be paying more attention to how I'm saying, how I'm delivering, this.
Right. That's interesting. Like that line between the two, because a lot of rappers, like I remember for a while I wasn't really messing with Future. Mm-hmm. And then he dropped like.
And it's funny, Future, like at times, I've always felt like, okay, can you necessarily call him a rapper? But it's like, if you're gonna that's why I think there's gotta be some type of difference. Mm-hmm. It's like, maybe Future is close enough that you could call him a rapper. And that's not going to the point of whether his music is whack or not. This thing, whether you can I'm like, if maybe his music is close enough in what he does to call him a rapper, like, maybe you can give him that, but he can't be considered an MC. Like, it's just comparing a Future song to, like, a Nas. It's just different, like, it's not the same thing,
Yeah, well, I think it's, like, different genres in hip-hop, You got the mumble rap now, you got trap, you got saying like that 90s, like, golden era, saying everybody
like the neo-90s, you got the Joey Badass, you got, like...
you got some of those. You got, like, some of this bubble trap that Yachty is putting out and whatnot, and like
there's stuff that's like a little bit more melodic. That's kind of almost like
McConan saying one of my favorite new artists is not new, but no, what's it called? Young Doug saying like every time he puts out that shit he continues to put out like entertaining music. You know what I'm saying? Like that's. And I find that like the ability to make hits. You know what I'm saying? Like,
you got a team.
Because there's the like we're saying there's the.
You can be a rapper that has a good song though.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, that's the thing. That's the thing.
I don't think it's not like MC versus rapper means good versus.
Song. Yeah, no.
But it's just like sort of a distinction in how you approach.
Like, would you ever call Young Thug an MC?
Oh no, I wouldn't put it on no. But I'm saying he makes hits. You know?
Sure.
Yeah.
And I think someone who's kind of like more concerned with the hits than what you're saying, wouldn't necessarily be an MC. That's more.
Interesting.
He's got lyrics, but not like on the level of saying the greats. You know what I'm saying? But he's definitely got hits, though. You know what I'm saying? No question. Yeah.
Before we, just from personal experience, we were talking about, being an MC and stuff, and like you play drums and stuff.
Yeah.
Like every time I've seen you with a live band, it just seems like you're just not phased. It's just like you're one of the musicians, like, and it's not phased because sometimes rappers when they come on on stage and have never been in front of a band. They get overwhelmed. They can't deal with all the sonic differences.
There's generally a disconnect. You know what I'm saying? Like you, Rabbi Darkside. I'm trying to think who else from the top of my head saying it was supposed to. Who else was just coming through saying that back in the day and just easily just slip in.
Yeah. I wish people could see that.
Now the video's gonna come second season.
Yeah.
Second season.
Yeah, I've seen rap like live. They're like, I just can't concentrate. Like
Well, I mean, it's something I had to work on. I mean, and I knew it was something that like I wanted to be doing stuff with live bands, because I was gonna go into some of the other stuff that I grew up listening to, like even after I was like real young, but like introduced to like Jamiroquai's and Brand New Heavies and Soul Live and
dope.
I from a kid growing up and being into like that live instrumentation, a lot as well, and wanted to include that in my music, and then also like I said, and having high expectations of myself, I know a lot of times you get in a situation like, if I'm rapping with the band, like just the fact that I have a band is supposed to make you respect or like me more, But I'm like, I don't want to be like, the weakest link in this and have people like, he's just dope because he has a band. Like I need to hold my own weight. Yeah. So then it came from that from years of being able to. Be able to project over the band and to work with the band. And then if we're rehearsing songs, like, how am I able to talk, in a language that they can understand and really pull off, what I hear in my head with the band. So that's come from, years of practicing, and I've done a lot of sitting and jam sessions.
Now, it's definitely very impressive because, like, I've seen, like, so many rappers before, like, because, like, when you're a singer saying that you're singing notes, you know what I'm saying? But when you're a rapper, you're just, like, saying rapping tones.
That's exactly what I wanted to ask, actually, dude. I teach composition and songwriting. So, like, I was teaching these, like, high school kids over at Manhattan School of Music last month. And I know how to, like, you give me a set of words, you give me some melodies and a band, and something to flow over. I could sing you a chorus all day and a hook. But, like, I'm fascinated by how you're just able to get into the mindset where you can start flowing, like making rhymes, making rhythms, making it, like, fit within a framework and everything. It's like it's a part of my mindset that like I'm fascinated by when people get to it, because I struggle to get to that part where I can just generate thoughts and get them in real time and get them to rhyme
and I think another important thing, like with the band thing, I think the situation with like a lot of people were performing. For me too, I find that a lot of people could rap these days, especially you have years and years of examples to look at. You could almost copy and learn and rap. I feel like you could take 100 people, listen to 100 rappers' songs. You listen like 80 of them, you could be like, they could all rap pretty well. Put them on stage, have them perform, and you'll find out which like 3 are for real.
Yeah.
And like I think a lot of like the issue is too like people, and it's anybody too, but also rappers too, when you perform, and then with the band too, you're so much like, this is my time to prove, whatever, and so like this is my showcase, to do what I do. And like I still have some of that competitiveness, but from performing a whole lot, it's like it's being comfortable, having fun, realize like you're there as much for the crowd to enjoy you as much, and like you want to enjoy it too. And so it's like when I step into that situation, it's like we're just jamming. Like I want them to have a good time. I'm also showing my skills, but it's not so much like this is my time. Like I gotta do it. It's like I'm part of this. You guys are part of this. And like let's be comfortable and have fun with it. And then it winds up coming off more impressive on my part too when I'm not so concerned.
Did you ever study improv? Or like improvisation on the drums or anything like that? Nothing?
Not really. I mean, it was more,
just like...
I mean, like I said, I perform... I mean, if you count everything from, like, actual sets to, like, sitting in on people's stuff to jams. Right. I mean, I don't know how many hundreds of times I performed.
10,000 hours.
And when it started, like, my freshman year and stuff, I was basically taking every performance I possibly could. So it was like, when it would get around on campus, like, school groups would be like, oh, we want a performer, like, JSWISS raps. I would wind up performing in, like, a classroom. You do the school groups, they're not prepared as actually like what musicians need. So you show up and it's like you have 3 people performing, they have 1 working mic, they have no working mic. You have 5 people there in the classroom. I've been in the lecture room with one of the little lavalier mics that look like. So I've had all like the worst situations where you walk into and it's like, all right, we still need to make this work. Yeah. So it's like I feel like I'm seasoned and prepared for anything. Like you give me a band, like a mic, I got monitors, like this is gravy. Like I make this work. And I kind of just feel like I'm home on stage.
Do you feel like that's like an uncommon thing or a common thing in how you get into like being an MC these days? Like,
well, I think a lot of people don't pay attention so much to like the importance of being like a strong performer and developing that.
Yeah.
It's like kind of people dream of, okay, I have a hit song, so when I perform it, everyone already knows it and they sing it.
Right.
But people don't really work on like that. Like I said, for me, that's been when you could really tell the difference between an MC. Right. It's like in the live, how strong they are and how comfortable they are.
That's a good point.
So knowing that I want to be the best, I'm like, yo, if I know that's how I'll judge other people, like I better be dope as telling them. So that's been like something I study and really work on being better as a live performer.
So I mean, like you never had like a music. No one other than like your dad was helping you with music. It was just like you, like picking this stuff up.
Yeah, and he's been great too. I mean, we still talk, and so he even too, will
that's tight.
Will give me things like, okay, I saw this in the show, because he too, like me, even as of recent, it's like, okay, you're good, you're very good, but he knows, like I know, I want to be like the best in the world. So it's like, if your live show is not better than Kendrick Lamar's, like this is what
there's still a mountain to climb.
These are some things you could do to make it better, and like I love to hear that because that's where I want to be. I don't want to be like, all right, I'm better than the 50 other rappers in this room, so I'm good. Like I want to be like, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah. Dope.
The bar is high. You remember what's her name? Krayshawn?
Oh yeah.
Oh, was it her? It was one of them. Anyway, so she blew up really fast from that track, and then people will go to her live shows and be like, "Yo, what the fuck?"
But that's the thing today too. It's like interesting. It's not like it's very unlikely that you'll blow up that way, but you see a lot of people, especially in hip hop, like that will have a hit song. They'll like sign with a label. They'll have their first big show, and literally like they've never performed at all before, and their first big show is like a sold out venue. They sell SOBs and they have thing, and so they're just performing over the tracks, and they've never had to grow. Like there's a difference between where you just blow up and have to do that, and then from like for me it's like, okay, this might not be it might not be the reason why there's not a lot of people there, but if I do like shows to begin with and there's like 4 people at the shows, I'm thinking like, all right, I need to be so good that like people realize that they need to come. And then it's like if I'm doing shows and still not like, that's what's pushing me. Like I'm never good. It's funny that, like with Steph Curry, I think that's the reason that he became so great too, is he was always like looked down upon. So even when he was dropping 30 in high school, it's like, oh, you're not really that good. He goes to a smaller college. He drops 30 there. Oh, we don't think he's still going to be that good. So that pushes him to be better and better. So it's like, for me, it's like, even if my live show is pretty good, I'm still like, this is not good enough. Like, what do I need to get? And even now too, it's like I'm not doing 10,000 people to show tours, all around the world every night. So it's like I need to get better. 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 Even if like right now I'm still better than a lot of people, I'm still like I need to get better. I need to get better. Where the nitpick things that I could get better at.
And you never know what's going to be there. I remember I played a show once and like it was in the middle of like some podunk town, and it happened to be that one of the few people in the crowd that own a club in New York. And I was like, damn. It's like you just never know who's anywhere.
Yeah.
Like or what, So,
and just to be prepared for situation, like the other night, I started put up some video of it, but it was this Jay Dilla tribute that was going on. It was like an after party for the Fish show at Madison Square Garden. So our
It's a
friend
nice
Mark.
little combination
It's like,
right
you
there.
know, yeah. So it's like, you know, I have a friend who's playing in the band. He goes to Marcus Machado, is his name. So he's playing in the band. A drummer, Darryl Jones, playing in the band. Mo Better Brown. It's like really heavy hitter, you know, band members, you know, stuff. And so Marcus was like, you know, yeah.
They playing the Fish Band?
No, they were playing this like the Jay Dilla tribute. Jay Dilla tribute.
Plays
You
with
know.
I'm like, cause I seen the picture.
Daru plays with Talib, right?
I don't think
Or
Mo
did back in the
Bass
day at
played
some
with.
point.
Yeah, he's played. I mean, the biggest thing they talk about him is with like Jack White. He played with Jack White and he's played with like Black Milk people. But it's like a situation, you know, like that's like some heavy hitter musicians and stuff. And Mark's is like, yeah, just come up. So I didn't have anything prepared. I actually thought I was only going to be performing like maybe a song or two or something. I wound up being up there with them for like an hour and a half.
Oh shit!
It was a situation like nothing was prepared. I was able to just kind of fit in because I had been doing it. You know, I made different jam sessions I've been in other bands, and you sit in for a song or whatever. So it's like, you know, it's nothing from those hours. You said the 10,000 hours of practice.
Yeah, exactly, right?
That's dope. That's dope.
Do you think that music is suffering now in a way because it's, like you're saying, people aren't really getting, as rappers, aren't really getting that chance to be out there and like jam with people and like, you know, really working their craft. A lot of times it's like a team, you know what I'm saying? Like, let's say you get signed, you just blew up, and you're not really prepared for performing and stuff.
Yeah.
And you got amazing tracks, you got like an amazing team around you, and it's like you at these parties all the time. Are you really putting in work? You know, like do you think that kind of culture in music today is good or bad?
As far as what that people are like blowing up so fast.
For like the future. I mean, like people talk about the whole mumble rap thing, but my whole thing is just like, are you working on your craft? Because like, for instance, like a lot of trap artists, you know, Gucci Man, you know, I like Gucci Man, but he's just still slick, you know, like and clever. It might not be like people's like bag or whatever, but like some people out here who put out stuff, it seems like they're not really trying, you know. Oh, they're not being clever with the wordplay. You know what I'm saying? Like at least like even if it's trap, like
a lot of people just kind of see the image of what, you know, it could be, and they think, okay, if I just get my, you know, Instagram and Twitter followers up, right, be famous, and you know, so yeah, I don't know if it's funny. People always talk about like the state of hip hop and music or whatever being worse now. I think it's probably just that like the amount of people, the access for the amount of people to do it is like so much bigger. So it's like, say if in the past, in the past, like it could be the same percentage of artists who are whack, you know, that, like say 20% of all artists are whack. I'm making up a number. You know,
probably 50, 60.
But it's say it was 20%, and because of access to be able to actually make and put out music, you're talking in the past you might have been talking about 20% of 50,000 people, but now you're talking about 20% of
billions,
you know, 500 million people. So now you, instead of having like, you know, 10,000 whack artists, you have 80 million whack artists. And you're like, man, there's so much more whack artists than before. And it's just because, you know, the access to be able to do it, period, you know, is so much higher.
Yeah, like, so who do you like who's your target audience? Who you trying to like reach? Anybody and everybody? You got like a special demographic you think you necessarily like connect with, or?
You know, I mean, it's cool because like what I'm able to fit into, and even like using some of the instrumentation and stuff, like I'm able to reach a lot of people too who aren't normally listening to hip hop.
Yeah.
You know, so I mean, I'd say you want to reach everybody, but I would say like try not to get so concerned about what, you know, the fans of, like, you know, rap, your typical rap fans. You know, one, because I think for a lot of those people, it's like if it doesn't have that certain aggressiveness, vulgarity, that alone just makes it void. Like, this isn't good. Like, whether or not it's everything else that they want. So like not to worry so much and try to appeal too much to that. But like, I mean, I'm trying to reach everyone. I mean, it's been cool that I've been able to, I've seen recently reach like internationally, you know, a lot of people. So like I love that. And I think that people from other countries, you know, continents, I should say, you know, even have an appreciation, you know, for stuff that's, for hip hop still that doesn't have that certain aggressiveness and vulgarity. You know, too, so that's cool.
Now, like the fact with the 444, you know, it's like saying we got the...
Explain what that is? listening.
I ain't gotta explain that. They know what that is. They know what that is. They better stop playing on the other side.
Yeah, he's on the come up, kind of.
Yeah. He's a mumble rapper.
You know.
And like saying he dropped something for the adults, you know, and it's like I remember like just like Jigga man, you rich, take the do-rag off. I remember like listening to that shit as a kid, saying just like proudly wear my do-rag and shit, you know, like what Jay-Z said kind of went at sometimes, you know, saying like now he's on some grown man shit. But I think that's good because there's like an audience for that, and there's an audience.
But it's interesting too. You said that he was making it for like grown people. Like I don't even think that.
I don't think he was making. I don't think he was making it for grown people. I think it's grown folk music though. You know what I'm saying?
I think it's just him, dude.
Well, yeah, he's
grown ass man.
Yeah,
He's very old. He's no longer just Jay-Z from the block.
Yeah, but the culture and hip hop have always taught us to be like young and like.
Well, that's a good segue right there. Cause
numerous baby mamas and all like whips and cars and gotta get the jet. You know.
This is why it was embarrassing when Common put out the Drake disc.
And it's funny too. And it's funny too because a lot of people like even trying to do that like.
So you don't really go to festivals or nothing like that?
Not a whole lot.
You only at the Brooklyn hip hop because of work, or that was it?
I was there, yeah.
Yeah, but
I mean, I feel like I guess I'm trying to like think of like to be able to go to more bigger shows like that and just enjoy myself. But a lot of times it's like I want to go to places where I could like network and talk.
You want to be in action.
So I don't necessarily want to like sit super far away and watch a tiny and I'm in the city.
Oh yeah. I'm not about that either. So I gotta know somebody.
And just too being in New York, like you could, you're kind of spoiled. You could catch a show. Like you could spend $60 to see somebody in Madison Square Garden and see like even better show right in front of you for like $10.
At the Shrine, yeah, for sure.
So what do you think in that regard? Like, let's say you're like a rapper and you've got, I don't know, you're on the radio and shit. You got millions of dollars. You go to shows like you sell out like the Garden or whatever, and you look in the crowd, and it's like mostly white people.
Mm-hmm.
Like, how do you feel? What do you feel about that? Like in terms of hip hop, like you see like Jay-Z concert. Like, I remember him and Kanye were doing niggas in Paris, and like the whole crowd is like a friend. Everybody's white. I'm just like, oh, this is gonna get uncomfortable.
Yeah.
Like, but in terms of like, I don't know. For me, I know I just feel like people in the black community don't really go to shit. You know, in terms like at that same level, you know.
There's some of that, yeah, I guess too.
Yeah.
You know.
But do you feel like that, like when what's your ideal demographic? You probably don't have one, but I'm just playing devil's advocate. Like, if you look at the crowd, you be like, I want everybody.
I mean, I feel like my only ideal. I mean, having a lot of women, because I mean, if you have more women, then you'll get more women and men to come.
Yeah, definitely.
But I would say otherwise, like other than women, I would say like you want to have, not like it has to be super young, but you want to have an age, demographic that's generally at least in the 20s to mid 30s type of thing.
Yeah, the best audience I've ever seen was my boy Cole hit me up, was like, yo, we about to check out this Kanye West Yeezus tour. I'm like, all right. And then I go down to the Barclays Center, and then like old women saying like grandma saying hot chicks saying frat boys saying block boys saying coke boys, pimps saying strippers, saying you name it, is at this concert.
Yeah. And I would love for like a diverse. I'm just saying, like, as far as you don't necessarily want to be a hip hop artist with like your biggest demographic, like 55 to 70-year-old people, because it's just like I think it would be great to have like I love to go to a show and see like a diverse amount of people, but I'm just saying like you probably want your core to be, at least, somewhat.
You want people of the culture to be at the show. That's what you want.
So do you see yourself? I just one more question. Do you see yourself like 20 years from now still rapping and still performing?
Yeah.
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 Because like we were talking about, like in hip hop especially. Well, a lot of black music actually, like once you get past a certain age, they're like, man, you old, man. You all that. But yet,
this is what I was getting to next too, like, cause you got cause you also written in the Times saying the article you had on your homeboy. What's his name again?
Daryl Homer.
Silver, right?
Yeah.
2012 saying USA. 2016 USA saying all that. Saying Phelps lost to that shark. You heard about that?
Yeah.
All right, so wait, come on. Saying why the fuck you gonna go up against the shark if you gonna lose?
Because he beat that.
I know, right?
That's like Mayweather fighting Conor, but that's another.
You watch boxing?
Not really, no.
Oh, damn. All right, but so you right, saying like you definitely rap. You know what I'm saying? Saying. You got this other job where you do your marketing at, you know what I'm saying? Get to
like media and stuff, yeah.
Saying get to do some media. So you got like a couple different weapons, and like saying like out of all those, like which one is your end game, like.
No, the passion and everything is with music. I would say the thing that like connects a lot of this stuff is words. Which is cool, because I feel like words, especially when you're talking about value, because words literally like they cost nothing to be able to put out there, but they're probably like the most valuable commodity on the world, because they cost nothing, but the value that you could get from them is so much.
I was always impressed by.
That's a quote right there.
I was always impressed by liquid, like small bottles of liquid that cost cause Hennessy costs and then but perfume, you know what I'm saying? Like these little things will cost like $60 for this little thing. But you're right, I think words is probably the best bang for your buck. You know what I'm saying?
So I think it's like a good thing to have like I know for me, like especially besides working in, like your teenage job, like a day camp type of thing.
Yeah.
Any money I've made has had something to do with words, whether it's like rap or, writing or something. So it's like, I think that words are a great thing to have a command over, to be your strong suit. Yeah. And I think it's a connection. And I think, because all hip-hop artists, eventually, they'll have other, businesses and stuff, the Jay-Z and everything. Like, I know I don't want to ever, like, own a record label. Like, I don't want to do that. I know a clothing line is, like, not me. But I know, like, the other extension of what I do is words. So I think, like, any other forays into other businesses and stuff that I do will be grounded somewhat in words. So that would be the other part of, what I do in my life in some form.
Think you'll write a book?
I do want to write a book at some point, yeah.
Would it be fiction or nonfiction?
I'm like a nonfiction, yeah.
Oh, nice.
In some way, yeah. At least one book.
So what's
I want to write a forward for someone at very least.
Maybe you can do that this year.
Because I haven't like really figured out, and I tell people I haven't figured out what my book would be yet. And I know people say you'll know when you know you'll know.
Yeah.
But for right now, like I think I'm capable to write. So it's like if I knew someone who needed like a forward to be written, I would love to do that even now before I figure out what my book is.
All right. Yeah. Yo, so what's coming up next for JSWISS?
So like I'm working on a lot of new music. It's funny. I don't know when this will end up airing. So it might be over once this airs.
I'll be completely honest with you, saying.
As you're listening to this, it is probably after this whole residency that I did with Rockwood. But as we're airing this, I'm in the middle of. So working on a lot of new music, so doing a residency at Rockwood Music.
What's the new music? Because like all your EPs and albums have got like really powerful titles. Do you have a title for this project right now?
I do have a title for whatever my next project will be. Yes.
Oh, you can't
You're not
release
gonna
it.
tell
All
us?
right.
I've actually,
Words are important, Chris.
it's actually a
Okay.
title. It's actually a title that I had before I even put out the last EP. Maybe after I was like done.
It'll
finishing.
probably be out by the time the episode.
No, it might be a while. That's what I'm saying.
All right, it's exclusive. As soon as we know, we'll let y'all know. You know what I'm saying?
But it's a dope. It's I feel like it's a title that the title alone like puts pressure on it for it to be just like whenever I do put out the project with that title, it'd be like a dope project. It's the type of title that like
kind of just
you could say like you're talking about like classic albums. You know what I'm saying?
All right. Okay.
There's so much hype on this title right now.
So it's like an Illmatic.
It's like it's gotta be, it's like that.
Blueprint.
It's like it's gotta like it can't be. It's like when JSWISS dropped
gonna
that.
be in
Like
life.
it was a moment when that album came out.
Yo, what was your favorite album name that you can think of right now? Just out of curiosity.
Man, the greatest album title of all time is a tie between Authenticity and Out of State Intuition. I will tell you something another title that might possibly come because I had the mixtape called Out of State Intuition because I was going to school out of state in North Carolina, and then I had Out of State Intuition 2. Leave Me Alone. It was like : Leave Me Alone. Like loan, like LOAN.
Yeah.
And then I might have to do the third one, Out of State Intuition Paid Off.
Okay. I'm back.
I'll give you that time. That might have to come. I don't know when if that
That's the mixtape.
But I can't tell you the other title. I'll give you that.
I'm trying. Who does that? Kanye was like college dropout, late registration, graduation.
Yeah.
And then Yeezus. No, it don't.
That had nothing to do with that whole thing.
Yeah, once you graduate.
Yo, is there anything else we got on the plate? Did we hit everything?
Well, how's that
Don't we
time?
end off with the what's coming up?
No, I'm trying to think. We touched everything.
We went in a funny order. We went all over the place.
Can I just drop one gem I wanted to drop for all the possible artists and stuff? Or no, you asked me.
Wait, no. Like one thing, could you just describe your parents real quick? Because we kept on teeter-tottering.
Oh, yeah.
Because I was really interested, because like I'm in my 30s, I'm thinking about kids, and I felt they did a really good job with you. Like name some key point things, like was they strict, were they loose, were they understanding? Could you tell them anything?
Well, I mean, I would say
was it friend? Was
I would
it
say
dictatorship?
for everything in my life, I feel like either directly or indirectly, like they're responsible for it. All the things that I do, get, or whatever. And the good thing about it is too that they don't even want to take responsibility. Like, I feel like some parents will be like, "Oh, I'm trying to take responsibility." Like they'll be the first to say, like, when people will be like, "You did an amazing job," they'll be like, "No, that's all him." Like you ask them that, they'll say, "No, that's all him," and then you ask me, and I'll say, like, "It's all them," type of thing. But it's cool because like they've been, they're two, my best friends as well. Yeah. But also like I don't think of them too much as friends. Like they're still like my parents. Respect them as such. But I could still talk to them a lot. And I think so I mentioned my dad a lot more just because like we're a lot like each other.
Well, y'all look just alike.
We're a lot like each other. And so and he's into music like like I am. So we could do we could relate. To even to being the creative mindset and everything. I mean, we could wind up going to the same shows, checking it. So it's like we're a lot alike in that way. But my mom also is like incredible, and also talk to her a lot, and consider one of my best friends as well too. And like I said, there was that balance. I wasn't that difficult of a child, so like they didn't really need to.
You didn't get no beatings?
No, they didn't need to put their foot down like that. For me. So
I got some beatings.
I think I somehow made it easier for them. I don't know. Like I had a conscience that was keeping me from like getting too much on their nerves. Yeah. But and then even like music wise, just too as an artist is great because my dad has the experience from the side of like really knowing like the ins and outs of music itself and even business, whatever, give that perspective. And my mom is just like a pure like music fan and doesn't know that deep in the music. So it's good to even have both of those perspectives. Because so my mom, she works in like human resources. She worked in that for a while. So like her music is just like purely like just enjoy. So it's good to have both because I think even too if I just have my dad's perspective, you also have that like another mind that could be, one, somewhat jaded by dealing with the music business, two, thinking too much about the other factors around the music. So it's good to have her too. It's just like, oh, this is free, it feels good, you know. You know, so it's good too to have both of their perspective, and like when I put out music, what I'm doing music wise in my career, you know, it's great. So it's like,
has your mom's ever called like, yo, that shit's trash? Nah, never.
But it's just fun because I know like my mom, she might say something to think things are a certain way because she doesn't know so much about the music, or, you know, stuff. Like even too, we might be in a car or something, and three of us are listening to, like, not even my song, but another song. Yeah. And like, you know, what we might be nerding out, me and my dad, like something, oh, you hear this in the mix, and this is pan and how they do that. Yeah. My mom's like, I can't hear it. Like, there's no difference. You know, so it's like, you know, we know music like that deep to really get into, oh, you hear how this is mixed and EQ'd and panned, so like, and she's just like, I just like how the song sounds, you know, type of thing. So that's good to have both their perspective. But I feel like, yeah, the parents I was given like set me up perfectly for down to, like I said, even the music career. That's the real MVP.
So what was the gym? You had a gym for us.
Oh, the gym was, yeah. It
my bad. Did you go for Cavs or did you go for the Warriors?
I went for the Warriors for those two.
Alright, what's the gym?
Is that a bad thing?
What's the gym? Right? Niggas, what's the gym?
Who lost, Chris?
But it's funny too. I just, real quick before we get into the gym, just with basketball, I haven't like had the last team that like I really rooted strongly for was like, I was a Miami Heat fan since like 2003 when Dwayne Wade first got there. So like their championship that they won in 2006 was like really sweet. The ones that they won with LeBron, I wasn't too much into. It was like, I was the Dwayne Wade over LeBron fan, and I was like, what are you doing bringing LeBron over to your team? So it's like they won, but it didn't feel as sweet. So it's like I stayed with Miami, and then after Dwayne Wade.
But that's what Kevin Durant did when he went to Golden State.
But the 06 one was the sweetest. Like I said, I couldn't enjoy the other Miami ones as much.
I'm talking about the Warriors saying saying Kevin Durant saying left his team and did what saying LeBron did basically in Miami.
You calling out LeBron? Or you calling?
All right.
Anyway, I haven't always been the big, especially because I've been a Dwayne Wade fan. I haven't been the biggest LeBron fan, so admittedly, I would rather LeBron always just not win.
Okay, all right. for those reasons, I can.
So that's why I said like the other Miami championships were kind of, because it was like, all right, Dwayne Wade's winning.
I can respect that. I can respect that. Now, for real though, what's that gem do?
So the gem was just, I don't know.
What do you have to tell the young artists saying coming up?
It was just what I was thinking. I was thinking things you might ask and what I think about. But like the three things that I think are just like important, you know, in general for artists, and what like I think have helped me thrive to at least the point that I have and continue to, that I think are important, are, you know, to be an artist and having a career. I'd say is 1, consistency. 2, having high expectations or demanding a lot of yourself. And 3, just being a good person. And I feel like all 3 of those, like, you know, will help anybody, you know, do well, and I think will help me do well. And even kind of helps us, I think, a fourth kind of like other thing in it is like luck. There's a lot of luck that's, you know,
I can get down
involved
those first two. I'm a hating ass nigga.
But what I was gonna say is like I think like almost a fourth element in it too is like is luck, because there is like a lot of luck in this stuff too. Like you can't deny it. Yeah. But I think like if you have the other 3, you kind of help yourself to create your own luck, you know, too. It's like if you're and not even like it's like if you're consistently doing stuff, if you're demanding high quality of your stuff, and you're a good person, like you have all the stuff you're working on, and then you might get a call out of the blue to do something that you weren't even planning, you know, because you stay ready, consistency, you demand a lot, and because you're a good person, someone's like, yo, I know this person who's like amazing to work with, good person. He's dope at what he does. He always brings the highest quality, and like he stays on my mind because he's always doing something. And then that's how you create those like lucky opportunities that you weren't.
That's how you got this call. Shit. Yeah. Now that you mention it, I'm like, that is why I called him.
Yeah. It's like, I mean, I've I'm enforcing, like, I opened up for Rakim, you know, twice in the same year at SOBs.
Oh, dope.
And, like, both times, like, before I even knew that Rakim was performing, like, I got hit up, like, yo, do you want to open for Rakim? And, like, that happens because I'm just doing what I'm doing over here. I'm like, I have certain things that I'm focused on making happen. I'm just making it happen. And out of the blue, it's like, oh, do you want this, like, dope opportunity to do this? So,
yeah, that's dope.
Yeah.
So, yeah, dope. All right. Yo, TJ, what's your socials?
Oh, catch me Instagram at TimJRob. TIMJAYROB.
Lindsay, where you at?
I'm at just_LINS.
Sidney, tell me where you at.
My Instagram, Sidney Fenix, SIDNEY, Fenix, FENIX.
That's his real last name, too. Yeah.
Oh, okay. Here, I'm gonna send you guys to SoundCloud.com/slowriches. Check that one out.
All right. Yeah, JSWISS, tell me where you at, Jay.
I'm on Instagram and Twitter at JSWISS here, JSWISSHERE. Also your your iTunes, Spotify, and I'm on PayPal at jswisspg3@gmail.com. Hit me with some comments in it.
Drop some dollars in the bank. That's JSWISS saying all caps, no spaces.
All caps, no spaces, yeah.
That's right. All right, thank y'all for rocking with us today.
Thank you for having me, man.
Oh, thank you for coming out, man. Thank you for taking the time. I think we got a lot of time. We put some work in up over here. Yeah, that's what's up.
Yeah, dude, we just put in minutes, bro.
Yeah. All right. See y'all next time.
Vain Gloria. I like that. I like it in the black. I like the way you fill it out. I love how we look from the back with the cuffs and the straps. Can I whip it? Can I whip it? Can I whip it? Can I whip it? Can I whip it like that?
It's sexy time. Do you like leather? Let Vain Gloria dress you up in handmade fetish leather new goth lingerie. If you're into BDSM and kink, don't even think. Let Vain Gloria facilitate your intimacy with collars, cuffs, harnesses, belts, garter sets. You can find the wardrobe for your fantasy. Etsy.com/shop/vaingloria. That's ETSY.com/shop/VAINGLORIA. Use the code MEDCAB to get discounts. MEDCAB.
Wow. What an episode. Yeah, thank you guys for listening. Thank you guys for tuning into the Medcab podcast. What's it called? That was JSWISS. Every time I get around JSWISS, I feel I should be doing better, man. He always made me think about things, he's such a proper stand-up type of dude, It made me feel like, I need to change some things in my life, But, it's good to have him on. I always learn a lot from him. It's always great to see him. You should check him out if you're ever in New York City. Follow his Instagram, follow his Twitter, all that. Check him out on Facebook. He's got, buy some of his merch. He's got some dope t-shirt designs, all that, dope music. But, thank you to our sponsors, 4Loop, 2Loop, that's number 4, LOOP, number 2, LOOP, and Vain Gloria, that's VAINGLORIA. Yeah, you can check them out on Instagram, see what they have going on. Guarantee you're going to find something you like. But, the song we have featured for this episode is another guy I've worked with, through Rootstock Republic. The episode is coming up a little later in this season. And, it's DJ Raydar Ellis. The song Overload. I came through a not like a listening party. He was performing at a studio, and when he did this track, something about the beat, and he had live instruments with the track, and he was DJing and performing at the same time. It's kind of dope. You should definitely check him out when you guys get a chance. He's on Spotify, but the track that we're presenting today is Overload. It's kind of a little motivational thing, and I hope you guys get motivated off of it too. Just like JSWISS. All right, y'all. Enjoy. Oh, yeah, if you have any questions for us, hit us up at the MedCabPod. That's TheMedCabPod @gmail.com. And same thing for Instagram. And then for Twitter, it's TheMedCab. You can find us on SoundCloud, YouTube, and Facebook. So let us know what's going on. All right, enjoy.
For the artists out there, a little something my man's told to me after his gig one night. Hold your head, bro. Who the fuck wanna be a rapper anyway nowadays? Probably got a better chance of getting paid picking power play. Running out of cool things for a crowd to say. Only 10 folks showed up, that includes sound man, bartender, anyone around the way. All the regulars say that I'm talented, while the bartender bringing up the balances. Spent more than I made, I'm not proud of it. But you gotta break eggs, put flour in, before you get a cake towering. There's levels to the shit that I gotta win for I'm out of this. Keep writing on my lunch break hour then. Keep posting online is empowering. Couple fave short chats, couple reposts. Pretty broke, so a break is what I need most. I ain't jaded, but I got a little green rolled. Riding solo, text from my people. Bruh, I forgot till I catch it next times. Close my eyes, imagine a stretch line. Up the block, it's natural to get mine. Save my guap, record during bedtime. Take a drive through the park where I see the whole city outlined in the dark with the street lights. If I play my part, I can move this art. Show my little brother more than the street life. Just thoughts from an MC. You ain't gotta take a note for note. You could just chill, sing the melody while I lie it in tote. Cause I'm on overload, overload. Yeah, I'm faded, roll another mo. Goodness gracious, Lord. I put one in the air to help me shake the bullshit off. I put one in the air to help me shake the bullshit. Overload, overload. Yeah, I'm faded, roll another mo. Goodness gracious, Lord. I put one in the air to help me shake the bullshit off. I put one in the air to help me shake the bullshit. Overload. Sitting sideways, riding low with low gas. The club is closed, windows rolled, some puff pass. Take another pull till my lungs is full, feeling comfortable like fuck the bull. My life is sober for the moment, cold, the whole clash. Between my wallet and my knowledge, yes, I owe a ton of bread from getting on my college shit. I got some loans now, Sally Mae turned into Solomon. She wanna cut my check in half. Problem is, I work a long day, barely get good pay, and I got a baby on the way. My girl think I'm gon' creep, she snooping while I sleep in my text, that's not okay. She probably think I'm fucking somebody right now, living where my parents can't afford my town. My brother been in jail a couple times now, and if you smoking, I ain't trying to bring your high down. But these are the times that I let go. Exhale, stress, and dream on a jet so I can fly left, middle finger to the time zone. It ain't happened yet, but if you know like I know, setbacks only setting up a come up. Check back when I'm sober though. Right now I think I'm the only one up as the sun rises. I realize I'm on overload, overload. Yeah, I'm faded, roll another mo. Goodness gracious, Lord. I put one in the air to help me shake the bullshit off. I put one in the air to help me shake the bullshit. Overload, overload. Yeah, I'm faded, roll another mo. Goodness gracious, Lord. I put one in the air to help me shake the bullshit off. I put one in the air to help me shake the bullshit. Overload, overload. Yeah, I'm faded, roll another mo. Goodness gracious, Lord. I put one in the air to help me shake the bullshit off. I put one in the air to help me shake the bullshit. Overload, overload. Yeah, I'm faded, roll another mo. Goodness gracious, Lord. I put one in the air to help me shake the bullshit off.